Some drivers are so legendary, we dedicated an entire race to them. Can Michael Haffliston keep his car to himself? We're all ready to find out at Dover, our shortest track that we're running on the schedule, the Monster Mile. It's horrifying. This is the Alkenwreck 125, because numbers are hard. I'm Howie Burroughs, as always joined by Davison, with 8 drivers on the field and half of them for one team that cannot keep cars to themselves, as I've already explained. I want to hear your prognosis. You're the doctor.
I've finally got my PhD completed. It's a miracle. Yeah, Dover is an extremely fun track if you know how to ride it safely. The entry and exit to these corners are wild as hell. The groove is, you want to be wrapping the bottom as much as possible, but you're going to burn your stuff up at some point. And there's rumours that this might end up being a fuel save race. This could get very dramatic very quickly.
Coldest track of the season because half the drivers asked me for it and then they got angry when I did it. They're basically your average iRacing players. Quick look at the championship standings, but we won't labour on for too long. Talon Smith, 2 great wins on the book. He's going to want some more. He said he just showed up to deny Alkenwreck the win. He's scared of this track though. He thinks it's not quite him, and he thinks the cold weather might lead to a fuel saver. Anything could happen. We could have plenty of cars go upside down. I've set a bounty. We are splitting $10 between all Alkenwreck drivers who end the race on 0x. Can they do it? It's going to be a joy to find out. Welcome to the series. Welcome to the track. Qualifying just coming to an end. We are staring at Michael Haffliston's dead car because there's nothing better to look at. Is Mile the Monster going to appear if I set it to scenic? Yes, he is!
Yes.
Mile the Monster, baby. It's my goat. That's a great time to get our qualifying done. 7 cars made it. One that backed out. He was scared. Talon Smith says he's got nothing in the tank, and then he starts pole anyway next to Michael Haffliston. No drama allowed, people. Lars Chenoweth sits in at 3rd with Daniel Solo in 4th. A few crisp sits in 6th with Doyle Rudolph, who spent weeks saying this was going to be his best week in 6th. No shade. With Bartosz Mugrala and Anton Omen in 7 and 8. Never mind, it is 8. I can't count the 9. It's James Facing who has decided that he is just not. He's not ready for the Monster Mile. He's going to get tamed, whether he likes it or not. Fun track, my favourite track in the Gen 4 cars. Actually, I adore this place to death. The cars just come alive. You slide them around the bottom lane. You really try and slide those rear tyres in a way that's effective and nice for you, and then you come back with tyre wear super late in the race. This is the real tyre tester on those horrible concrete walls. How many times have you met that transition and slammed it head first?
Too goddamn many, unfortunately. The thing is, these Gen 4s typically run a lot looser than the Cup cars that I normally run, the Gen 7s, so these drivers might actually be okay with that. Because if you get tight off of the exit of 2 or 4, you're going in the wall. There's no way around it. You just get spat out and you just don't have any grip in the fronts. So you just perish. If the car's a lot looser, it's slower, but you'll at least be able to keep control of the car, probably. Watch out for the spin.
I cannot believe that she just referenced the Gen 7 on this show of our law. What can I say?
What can I say? I like shitboxes.
Okay, well, I'll take that. I'll take that. Well, I mean, we're probably going to end the season doing GT3s at Spa or something, so, you know. And at what point? What game are we playing at that point? Whether on the track, let's put that in normal person numbers. It's 20 Celsius and 24 on track. It's cold. It's as cold as a day on the coast here at Dover. I was asked for cold by someone who hasn't hit the grid. So, thank you.
Incredible behaviour.
125 laps for 125 miles. It might fly by, or it might just end immediately. I've commentated a few of these drivers already in the last 7 days as the Majors Coke 600 went underway. A lot of the Alkenwreck drivers showed up to the Euro split, had a lot of fun commentating on them. Minecraft Liston had incredible long run pace. Didn't wreck anyone, but enough people wrecking for last stole a win from him anyway. So, you know, so maybe he's here to get his primal rage and revenge on the field. Maybe he's here to just finally show Talon Smith his way. The pace car's going in, and with that, I think I know the line's coming, but like, quite frankly, apparently we're going green. It is indeed time to bring the punter at Dover. I'm the greatest in this car on my own channel. I am the greatest. 2 wide the whole way around the track. Talon and Lars really hooking up with each other, whereas that top lane's already lost a little bit of momentum. They're still running side by side. Lars could be crazy enough to send it free.
No, Hafley's clear. He just sent it straight up the corner and just cleared Talon Smith on entry and just drove it straight past.
Outside can be fast here if running well, but this track will suddenly teach you what a well-rotated tyre looks like by the end of it if you ever use it. Talon's dropped another to Lars. Talon thinks that this might be a fuel save one stop if it goes green the whole way though, so I'm not sure what game he's playing. We're going to have to find out as this race evolves. He did communicate that strategy to the entire lobby, and as a result, robbed us of the joy of surprise and discovery. But is it going to work? That's the next game we're going to play. Now, I think he is running a bit slow on purpose, though. He strikes me as someone that's backing up a bit. Here comes Lars. He has the inside, a good run. Michael was good on the outside, though. We're side by side. These two have their beef already. We don't want to replicate it again quite this early. Hafley's faster on the outside.
Whatever's on that top groove right now, Hafley really likes it. You just need to be careful, though. Again, if you shred these fronts, you're in for a bad time. You think you can deal with a loose car? You do not want a tight one here.
A transition onto the straightaway, always a nightmare. Lars plays the game again, sticks the nose in. There's not enough momentum down here. Oftentimes the game is about playing a nice diamond groove, start on the bottom, go a bit up and then a bit back down again, and use that to maintain the rubber for a long time. But these two look like they are pushing for everything already on the track already, trying to get under again. Not enough space and not enough quarter given. And I won't talk about that Apple car. I can see the distance. I'll let his long run strategy really beat out the game. The rest of it. That means
I'm just like curious what the tyres are going to end up like for Hafley and Lars at this point, because obviously they're running hard. Talon's not being put under any pressure by Solo at this point in the race. As a little shove on exit there.
Tiny bit of almost contact, but I think he's going to get away with it. Over behind, we did see Solo and Chris really battling off the start. It's a three-way Alkenwreck sandwich. And for now, they're keeping it clean among themselves up front. Look at this pressure from Lars. He's in within less than a tenth. He's going to go for it again. You think he has it good on entry, and he's just cut off again. And when Michael has to make a long run in these cars work, he can. I saw this at Charlotte, not even on this series, but I've seen it at Charlotte this week anyway. But I don't know if I've seen Lars play the same game, and I wonder if this chasing's actually going to use up more of his stuff.
He's moving around up and down the track trying to find some grip, and when he's doing that in the straight, it's fine. When you start doing mid-corner, that's when you really start to tread the tyres. Moving up and down this track becomes a cheese grater. Actually, this is a decent run built here by the 22. Might be able to send it deep. Gets alongside, but just going to get his momentum jammed up. And I think they do what? No! It's not. Still pretty close. Coming off the corner.
We've seen the car's touch. Safely does it. I'm keeping an eye on your instant counts. Lars is not giving up on this, and I think he wants to. He wants to take it out on Hafley any way he can. Back again to the inside, not enough space given.
Yeah, Hafley's doing a good job just closing off the corner before Genoa gets to the inside. He's really taking away that bottom groove and forcing, like, if Lars looks low, and then gets that taken away from him, you have to shoot up the track at that point. And that is really going to shred your tyres. Moving diagonally across the track like that is just a cheese grater. Solo under a lot of pressure further back in the field, though, as Crisp and Omen just stacking it behind.
We love the concrete. We love the way it destroys our stuff. They are indeed racing hard. I do hear that they get on a little bit better than they do with the 81. Don't ask how I found out. Don't ask. That's flying by with 13 done already. If we stay green, could be 45 minutes. And while if you run it flat out, this is a 2-stop. These conditions could change the strategy in the race. He's going for it again. Still not ready. Michael's really holding his nerve right now.
Just a lot of pressure being put on by the 22. I think literally there has got a little shove and exit again. But Lars, like, how do you actually get a move done here? Because it looks like Michael is struggling for the outside where he can drive off an exit if you put him there. You can't really take the outside because he has a very strong entry. He's able to beat you taking the inside normally. Like, unless Lars thinks he can just shove him out of the lane, but that's going to be a very hard thing to do. I don't think you want to do it this early because you're guaranteed to make an enemy at that point.
I think Half is running a better tyre-saving line as well. Keeping that, like, half a lane off the bottom really makes the car come alive just a little bit more later. Whereas Lars is doing everything he can to get under. I wonder if he's playing the right game as well, myself. But this is the chase, and it's looking like it could blow up any other second. Any other second. Still hanging in there.
Yeah, Crisp has become disconnected from Solo further back in the field, so Solo will be able to hold on to 4th place for now, but still, it's these two, and then Talon Smith would go on board, seeing that dive attempt from Chenoweth again, but I suspect the 81 just going to drive off into the distance once we get on an exit.
I was curious about Talon's fuel usage. He might be running at slur for now, but he's certainly not clutching it through the corners as it stands. This is just this. Part of me feels like this forcing of the issue is just going to get him undone one day, but Lars makes the move again. Still that outside, or that more like one off the bottom, just a little bit faster. On the back, Doyle Rudolph makes a pass on Anton Omen. He believes he has the long run under him, and he could make up places if he saves his stuff now. Can be done. One of my favourite things about running on this track. Alan's closing up. You just this gift him.
So, like, what I'm thinking is, normal fuel mileage in Charlotte was, what, 40-something laps? Which would be 60-something miles. Which around here would be 60-something laps. I think the one-stop might actually be fairly viable without too much save. I think you just need to pay attention to the number, make sure you hit it. But I think Talon Smith might be on the money here for a one-stop. And if the two in front are fighting as hard as they are, there's a good chance if you just take care of your stuff, you'll be able to slide through maybe 20-30 laps, take a position, and potentially be in the lead come the pit cycle.
But also, if Talon's this fast as it stands, it makes me wonder what the other two in front are doing. He did make the plan clear early before the race. He's not hiding any secret knowledge today. How do you think I know? As Lars is well ahead by mid-corner. They're touching again. They're touching again. Happily shoving Lars down the track. Talon might send this free if he's crazy enough.
The thing is, Talon's closed up close enough that he can now has to worry about air, and he's going to send it. What the hell? This is a mistake, surely.
Free wide on the bottom. Not quite alongside.
Oh, I think it's a little early to be doing this. Oh, that's what I was worried about.
Two in the wall. but I don't think the hit is hard enough to hurt the right front. It was quite square. They're slowing up. Talon's flying through.
Get
Quite
one.
a checkup. Goes a bit higher now. This, we're getting racing for the end this early, and now I see Solo in distance. So Lars didn't hit the wall. He's now running the slowest of the three.
But how hard did he hit Halfling? Because obviously there's contact there and then ended up with a car in the wall.
Has to be less hard than have Liston hit the solid object. But otherwise the car would have gone backwards. Would have thought. Talon Smith ready to make his dive. He wants to take down every Alkenwreck challenger every week. And he's going to claim the lead for now. Not completely clear. Still ahead on entry on the bottom. This is opening up Lars Shadow F into the fight now. Has to
we can see how much better.
Here goes Talon.
You can see how much better Talon runs the bottom lane there. You just get it in deep, wrap the corner, get it on the throttle, and it just turns nicely for him. And you can't really deal with that, and now you're back in the clutches of the 22 because Lars isn't done with you.
These two are going to fight until the end of all time. It's a permanent duel. A permanent fixture. The gap on the bottom's been opened up. That's a big send, and I don't think it'll be good enough for exit. These big sends on entry are not... They're both burning up the tyres, and they're not converting anything useful for Lars, I don't think. I think Michael is running the way he's running because he knows that if he just gets sent on the inside every time, he can keep playing his game and keep saving his tyres in the same way. It's another attempt to get the nose in, try and scare. He'll have a spot and call at this point.
Oops,
and it's
still
no
22 on exit. Yeah. Like, you can get the car in on the inside fine, but you end up getting into the middle of the corner with just no momentum to carry through. Meanwhile, Halfley on that middle groove is just able to wrap around the corner a lot better, keep that momentum mid-corner, and while it looks bad on entry, Zords just get blown off you out turn 2.
We're going to see in 15-20 laps just who really saved their stuff. Talon Smith now a second and a half ahead. Is he our GOAT?
I think a lot of it might just be the fact that these two are just going tooth and nail and slowing each other up so much. Like, they are throwing haymakers, meanwhile Talon just gets to do the full corner arc uncontested every single time. You can see the Purple Menace off there in the distance, slowly getting smaller in the front cam of Daniel Solo.
I think, if you look at the rev count, Solo's definitely clutching. Solo's clutching in on mid-corner to save fuel right now. Because he jumps all the way down to 3K and then flies all the way back up. There's contact up ahead.
Ooh.
Kind of was
That's
set
the
a little
scary
bit slippery.
Oh, that's a car back on track.
What's happened?
Matthew Crisp ended up spinning in the back. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he's backward on the track. They haven't thrown the yellow for him. I just saw the car and it's like, wait, how is this not a yellow?
Just iRacing things. It's teammate contact!
What?
We have the Alkenwreck!
What?
It's Crisp on Omen.
What the hell happened there?
We spent so long focusing on Michael that we didn't think about like the real culprits, like they were going to hide under our nose the whole time. Slippy and going down on the mid-corner, all the way down the track. I'm afraid somebody is ineligible for the prize pool. I'm just saying, like, you're not invited to the birthday party anymore. Still green.
I want to say, Matthew Crisp was responsible for the murder of Matthew Crisp there. There's no reason to pinch that hard down the corner this early in the race. Just give it a little bit of space.
Just getting loose, and I think they're getting scared of him. That's not the sort of thing he'd intentionally do to a teammate. It seemed that the sort of thing he'd do if he's just like losing the car on the top groove and he's just trying to like get control of it, and then wherever it ends up, it ends up.
Down the track, yeah. Either way, we do stay green.
I copied the session from the last one. I obviously fixed qualifying, but like, I didn't like forget to turn on yellows, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Don't make me believe otherwise. I copied this from the last session.
Well, it was a single car incident, there was no chasing car, so I can see not throwing yellow. It just felt emotionally weird either way.
Car backwards often does it. That's all.
Oh, hello. Michael Affleson gets a little loose on entry there. Tries to get the corner wrapped up, but can't get the car turned how he wants, and Lars does stick the nose in again, but can't get the move done again. So now I'm just wondering, how bad is the stuff on the 81, and is it enough of a gap for the 22 to come through?
What's that for? I mean, I can hear that 13's engine. This man is already full saving. Lars, I'm trying to watch Daniel solo fuel save, and Lars is here to interrupt this party. They're complaining on the voice chat. Like, in the sort of like jokey way that they complain. I'm 2 tenths faster than him, and I can't get past him, man. From Lars. And in response,
that sounds...
Daniel Solo shouted chicken jockey. So... what are those days, you know?
I am tempted to issue Solo an end-of-line penalty for the chicken jockey, however... okay.
Yeah. I've put that on the chat, so now they know that I'm always listening. Whether they like it or not. Do they want a green flag interview? Are they asking for a green flag interview?
I think they're threatening a green flag interview.
I have control.
Oh no. Oh, Solo in the wall. Not Solo, excuse me. Chenoweth in the wall. Oh.
The wall starting to claim drivers.
Just a light tap. It a lot of wobble on exit for the 22, but not enough to lose the car. I think all that fighting has come back to bite them. Every driver is at least 1.2 seconds off their fastest lap right now. So these tyres are definitely past their prime. And I'm thinking is, okay, you might be able to one-stop it. Do you want to one-stop it?
Daniel is 100% committed. I can hear it in his engine. And you're just going to have to believe me. If you're on board, you'll hear it. That, like, the engine fully cut out for a while. Is he pushing now? No, I can hear a big clutch in the midpoint. Taunting each other. Watch the rev count just drop to the minimum and then spike back up when the clutch comes back. What's Lars doing?
Oh, what? What? Oh, that's... I thought Lars teleported back forward somehow. I didn't realise he switched drivers. I might be stupid.
You know how you could do that with an ender pearl.
I hate it here.
You're trapped in here with me. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
80 laps to go.
That's the truth of the matter.
About 20, less than 20, I'd say, away from fuel window being open. The Smith now leads by just under 4 seconds.
Talon now 4 seconds ahead. Talon Smith dominance to bore fans. But fans aren't bored by this racing. Matthew Crisp already a lap down after his spin. Lars is still playing the same games. Lars is playing the same games and hoping for the same answers. And what is this teammate chicanery over here? Get out of the way, Crisp. Maybe not that hard into the wall. Ooh.
Okay, but Lars has the outside this time. I want to see what happens here, because obviously this hasn't happened yet. It's always been the 22 on the inside. 81 on the out.
Almost sent into the wall.
But obviously, like, Lars just doesn't have a feel for what that outside's doing right now and is really struggling to make the corner work. It's just going to get checked up on exit here. Just because the way he came out for corner, just right in the line of the 81. Going to try and turn it down the bottom again. Gets slows down, but I think...
Oh, he knows how to back out. This sure is the best racing of the season so far. Don't say Dober doesn't deliver. But still no purchase made here.
And I just want to know when the go time is for the 13. Presumably you're taking 4 here. Like, there's no way in hell you're not taking tyres.
Matthew Chris with a meatball.
Oh. And gets on pit road.
Into the pits.
Not going to be an ongoing issue. But oh god, that's a big hit for Hafley and Lars. They're still going at it as we go to replay just to see what happens to the 18.
I just want to know. I just want to know, unfortunately. We'll catch what they did. We'll catch what they did. Did he just send it into the wall? Oh.
Just a little bit. Oh, yeah, there's the older...
This is further up the road as we're watching Matthew Crisp enter pit road and get the meatball.
Just going to get it in deep here. It's going to get the run, but unfortunately, it's just going to come up the track a little bit. And oh no, to be fair, the 8-1 comes down. They get very tight.
Behind.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Slow's plan here is, because if you're taking tyres, you're not going to benefit from the fuel save unless you can go really long on this first stint and then just go full send on the second. But I'm not convinced that would be faster overall.
Now Bartos is in rage. 81's up and they're dueling on the infield. Oh, this is going to end badly.
How did everyone
Bartos
keep it together?
Here he comes! Here he comes! It's a flyer! And Doyle Rudo!
What the hell was that?
The chase is on now!
Of nowhere, with a steel chair slides between everybody. Loose tank slapping it down the backstretch, trying to find some grip, trying to get it through, and does manage to sneak up into P3, and is now suddenly found themselves in the middle of this absolute slugfest as these tyres are going for everybody.
There's already a bump from the rear from the 22 here. And another hard in the back, just rattling his cage. Rest is out of their hands.
Yeah. And then here comes Cornflakes. Oh, but I think Regrala's burned the stuff a little bit there. Had a massive one that's fallen back into the clutches of Lars Chenoweth, who's going to take the high side, try to wrap around the top. It's going to be even on mid-corner, but should be able to just dive off the X. Class 5 has been tagged in the back, I think. Can't hold on to it, goes around.
Don't make me. I was too busy reminiscing, and you're telling me we had a car backwards? Well, thanks for keeping me up to date, and I'll catch this. But it seems as if we're not getting yellows to watch. We're not getting yellows. I'm catching as much action as Fox today.
Oh.
Or I just hit the go back to start button, which is certainly not. Let's try that again. Here's where it all kicks off. Big train of cars led by the 81 and the 5 and the 13. Lars on the outside again.
At some point the 5's going to get a bit squirrely. I think it might be the next corner. 22's going to look high. 5 is going to turn down a little bit too hard to try and give him space. Lose the throttle a little bit. Now has cars either side, forwards and back. Tries to wrap the corner and just gets tagged in the rear because he comes up a little bit. It's just really unfortunate. And yeah, car loops.
I'm still mulling what to do about Chenoweth and Davison. In the sense that I do think Lars sent Hafley in the rear. But somehow the crazy turn of events, as this is the 3rd week in a row Bartosz Mugrala eats a black flag on pit road, by the way. I get the sense that they sort of got their redress and they sort of got their race back, if you know what I mean. So, if they didn't get their redress, I was going to end of line Lars on a caution. But it seems as if everything has convolved to bring them back and we have the race again and we're ready for pit road. This is Lars Chenoweth. He's made his dip to the bottom, 63 laps in. Our second scheduled stop. Bartosz is going to spend a little bit longer, and that's a bad spin on pit road and another black flag. That one, we saw it.
That's unfortunate. That's if we stay green like we look like we're doing. It's not looking great.
This is one of the most brutal pit roads in iRacing. The limit is so low, and that rearwards brake bias will cause a lock and it will get you done. Lot of drivers heading into pit road now.
So Solo, obviously, I think running as much clutch as he was, is still on track, as is 26 Doyle Rudolph and Anton Oman.
Even Talon Smith is stopping now.
Yeah, you need tyres. They are going to be worth... Oh, a second and a half at this point, I think, per lap. So Solo is on his knees, begging and praying for a caution, or he needs to pit ASAP, because otherwise he's just going to lose so much time. And there we go, 13 on the apron. Gets it stopped, as does Doyle Rudolph, who actually makes a lot of ground on pit entry there.
Later stops, they're looking for an undercut. 65 times 2. Can it be done?
Yes.
It's just about. I had to put that. I did have to put that into a search. Lars Chenoweth eating laps down and down and down, and I think he might have quit. It's a last place finish for Lars. A massive stop and hold penalty. That's pit road for you. Everyone's held to the same rules on that one.
Crisp is still in the pit lane.
Crisp has endless damage. He's just here for a long time and not a good time.
Fair enough.
As we come back out, Talon Smith assumes race lead ahead of Havliston, Salo and Doyle Rudolph.
There is not as much of a gap between Hafley and Solo as I thought there would be. I thought the 81 would just drive off into the distance with those fresher tyres, but hasn't really managed to do so. Only two lots between them is I think Solo's struggling a little bit on colds there. But
do you think now's a good time to harass Michael?
Depends how rude you're feeling.
I'll bring him and Solo in to make it fair.
That seems very fair.
Your greatest rival locked it up on pit road. Now all you have to do is stay out of each other.
No, Solo's gonna touch.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can do that. He's kind of slow in the way right now.
That's an
Can
accusation.
you actually move though?
That's an accusation Lars would make of you earlier in the run, but you held it. I do think he ran you over. Solo taking P2. Maybe Hafley was
not for long.
Where did your Charlotte jeans go?
They went away with the slide.
He's fuming right now from other league reasons. Gonna put it that way.
I'd be annoyed too. Don't worry. I've referenced it already. P2 and P3. Let's see if the strategy works out for you. I'll leave you back to it. I like the little argument spot.
We got them in at the perfect moment.
Lars's finishing words are, "This track stinks. Total arse. Can't pass someone who is 2 tenths slower every lap." I have one thing to say to that.
Is it skill issue?
Do you remember when I was like, yeah, this league we might take seriously?
The racing is serious.
I have more fun this way. We have more fun this way.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just having a nice time in the booth.
I'm volunteering for
As
Mooncar.
one should.
Like, you know. They need more Brits.
Shout out Laura Hill. Anyway.
Hafley, I'll just say that Lars has more to say about Hafley, but because they weren't in the league server, I'll keep those private for now. But there is frustration about not being able to pass. There's frustration in the air about not being able to pass, and there's frustration in the air about that battle. So with 50 to go, we'll leave it at that, and we'll see who is ready to keep it running. It's going to be a tyre battle now. Everybody 1 second away from each other with 50 to go.
We've kept it green the entire way, and while we had all the battles for P2, Talon Smith has done it once again. The Purple Menace is now 13 seconds clear of the lead, and there's not really anyone challenging. And I'm wondering, given how short this track is, are we going to see a oops, the field got lapped situation?
That's the sort of person Talon Smith is. You know? He would just casually lap the field. Talon Smith, the sort of guy to lap the field and say he hates the car and track. So, we take those. Here next week for a track that is very clear and nice and clear to your heart. I did hear there were hurtful words exchanged about Michigan, its relationship to Auto Club, during the broadcast that I was away from. I did hear that, by the way.
Well, listen, Michigan is just Auto Club at home. There's one of them. They are both very good tracks, but one of them is superior, and it is Auto Club. And I am looking forward to that race. We will. I mean, we can talk about the Clash race there if you want to, but I'd rather not.
Talon Smith had a good one there, and he might want to do it again. We'll find out same time next week as we approach the halfway mark of the league. Time flies. Whether or not you're having fun, it turns out. Unfortunately, it just flies as you aim. Go Rudolph is gaining pace, and someone who thought there was no way he'd be getting a top 3 on that early pace, maybe the long-run merchant wasn't lying about his long-run merchant status. He is 8 tenths, 9 tenths away from Michael Athliston, who I have to say isn't having a very fast race.
Pitted 2 laps early and the cars around him. I'm surprised he's struggling that much. That shouldn't be too much of a difference on the tyres. I think whenever he just gotten too hot and he's struggling to get them back down or something, and meanwhile the 26 and the 13 just taking care of theirs. But right now, yeah, that 81 is just not as on top of things as it was in that first stint.
I think this is the gap and the battle to watch. We get you the gap live on screen, and we'll keep an eye on it as the race sort of comes to its end. I think this is going to be a battle sooner rather than later.
2 tenths, excuse me, taken out last lap. That is a huge chunk on a track this small. They're only lapping 23-second laps. Yeah, Hafley just struggling to find consistency in that car right now. Meanwhile, Purple Menace watch, let's call it 2.2 seconds between 51 Talon Smith and the 5 of Bartosz Bagral to go a second lap down.
Is he visible? He is visible.
The Jaws theme just slightly being played louder by the orchestra as we go here.
And he can make a pass any way he quite feels like it. Mooncar and 87's legend might never touch his car again at the end of this league. But that just means we baited him in. We pulled him in with the promise of prizes. And I will need to check. Shall we check whether any Alkenwreck driver is eligible? Yep, incident count. Live on screen. I need to find the correct... I need to find race control for this. The answer is... I somehow have Lysidon's on 0.
I believe it, actually.
After some of the things I've seen, I'm surprised there was objectively pretty big car contact there.
There was contact. From my perspective, it looked like a lot of 0x contact. They got shoved around a bunch. No one really got hurt from those contacts. They were just sort of like argy-bargy for position. No one spun, no one lost control. They might have lost a ton of time because of it. It was very aggressive at points. But I could see just a string of contact 0x on the screen of the 81.
We're living in the timeline where Lysidon is the one with 0. Daniel Solo's on 2. Doyle's also on 0. Omen's on 4 after the hard hit with Crisp, who sits on 6. Fastest lap. You wouldn't believe who has the fastest lap. It's Anton Omen. A 22.8. Alan's fastest is a 23. He's the only driver who hasn't set a 22. But it's all to say that it's not about how fast you go on one lap. It's about how fast you go every single lap.
You can definitely put up the high 22s in the early going of the stint, but if you do, I just imagine you're taking a little bit too much out the tyres, and this has been very much a long run race. So, not surprising to see that Omen with that fastest lap is actually now one down. Am I reading that correctly? Yes,
What
he is a lap down.
for? Anton Omen's not. Anton Omen is a lap down. Yes, he is one down.
Yes.
Now running 24s, 24.3s. Now the slowest laps on the field. Artos. We don't give fastest lap points here, unfortunately.
I suspect there's one driver that's thinking it'd be a lot cooler if you did. And speaking of cool, this battle does seem to have cooled down a little bit. Rudolph is gaining a little bit, but it's not taking the big chunks out of the 81 that it was previously.
He's got time to do it, but it is certainly true that the 81 has kicked up a bit of pep in his step. And those 2-lap fresher tyres could have an impact. Matthew Crisp, you did not. Oh no! Matthew Crisp sat for so long in pit road with the ignition on that his engine exploded.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, okay. Live grenade on pit road. You'd love to see it.
Would we like to listen to that?
In absence of anything else going on track, I think we will. Wonderful.
A jump scare, you never know what's going to happen. Also, I might have set this clip 30 seconds early. We get like a drum roll.
Oh, I can't actually hear it, but I can't go much higher than that willingly.
I think he's British. You'd appreciate it. Hey! There it was. You better believe it. You better believe it. You had to be there. You had to be ready.
So after that sequence of shenanigans, Talon Smith unsurprisingly still leads this race by 14.5 seconds.
Now's a perfect time to talk to someone, actually. Matthew, Just calling you under green flag to let you know that you should turn the engine off. Those things are expensive.
Yeah, I think I'm out of the race now.
You might be out of the race.
That's fine.
Do you think if you could get the car back on track, you could have potentially taken 6th place?
Maybe with the other people retiring.
Well,
But yeah, I was
48
struggling a bit.
Got a long time ago.
Yeah, I was struggling a bit out there, and yeah, literally, I just pulled the track like as the session went live. So
Nova
Yeah.
is on. Well, hopefully we'll see you on a bigger track out of the wall.
cheers.
Not too long to go, and Doyle's dropped off the back of Hafley. It's now 1 second, and it feels like Hafliston's gotten his long run back.
I think, annoyingly as well, Townsmith might just have enough legs in the car, or not enough legs in the car to lap the field. Currently entering turn 1 as the 26 just exits turn 2. As Townsmith, you can see there on live standings, definitely pulling away a little bit in the championship.
Now, there are 2 drop weeks that will be applied later, but as it stands, this retirement puts Lars even with some of Mike Waffliston's errors, and really makes things close. Close, tight, and scary. Sono's going to need to do more in the future races to get a leg up, but this is the next best finish he can do.
Barring an unfortunate accident, though, for Smith, like, Sono's still got, like, 2nd, which is still a very good points day, especially when the rest of the field is tangled up so much. So, yeah, I think 13's going to be happy with this overall. Just need to see it to the finish. 24 laps to go, and walk away pretty okay.
For the field, it's really a competition for 2nd. Callum Smith has decided he'll do it himself. Got really another very important league announcement. Provided any of you can afford it, I might move the league to Mario Kart World when it releases. I mean, let me know how you feel about that one in the video comments.
Gen 4s in Mario Kart World.
I mean, Sky High Sunday is basically an open. That's all I'm going to say. Baby Park is basically Martinsville.
Baby Park needs a pit road, that's all I'll say.
You're cooking tonight. You're cooking tonight.
I don't know what I'm cooking. It might be inedible, but
It's some Gen 4 Thunder. It's some green flag Gen 4 Thunder. Estimated about 8 minutes to go if we stay green. 8 minutes of filling. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Doyle's got a lot to do to finish this job. He's going to be disappointed if he doesn't quite catch.
there was a brief window where it looked possible, and it just seems to have slipped away, unfortunately, for 26.
You can see the cars just visibly struggling through the mid-corner now. I've seen weirder things shake up a race. Does this make 3 Bartos pit lane penalties for 3 races? I think it does. Almost deserves its own special award.
Don't remember if they had pit lane penalties in previous races. I was there for them.
He definitely had one. I think he's had one in every race.
That is unfortunate. This one's a bit more understandable because it's very much a non-standard pit lane. You have to, like, brake on an apron on a flat part of the track, which is never a great thing. Like, you can't just, like, curve the car in off of turn 4 like you can at intermediates. But, yeah, just losing that advantage does suck. Meanwhile, Purple Menace still pulling away, now 15.8 seconds and change.
The pink boy is unstoppable. Always has been, always will. It'll take someone getting in his way, and no one's been able to pull that one off yet. Could he do the clean sweep this season?
It's a very interesting camera angle got there.
And Daniel Solo is bribing people to give Half Lissenden the 4X.
It's very funny, but
I am not going to allow people without at least a league penalty.
I think a little bit of madness has taken over the drivers as it has the booth.
A little bit of madness took over all of Dover today.
This has genuinely been the calmest Dover race I've seen. Granted, my experience has been in IS, which has driving standards.
Who even drives NIS?
Me, occasionally.
I do every single super late model and modified tour. I'm the real one. They're going to Slinger. They're going to Slinger last week. It was great. I enjoyed
That does
it.
sound quite fun, actually. However,
It clashes directly with NIS time slots.
it's great. I hate it.
This drone's in the crowd. They're tolerant of it.
I mean, well, Omen's caught the lapped car of Bosch Regrala that might be vaguely interesting as the 5 washes up the track, and never mind. It's a nice calm pass.
It was better than the Japanese Grand Prix.
I wish I had a flute or harmonica that I had, like, vague competency with to play the theme. And now I'm tempted to go on Amazon and see how much cheap harmonicas are.
I'll say that I'm not going to do
It'd be
this
awful.
because unfortunately I've promised a real lead. But I have a button that would throw a full course yellow. And it's sitting there right in front of me. And it's like when you're told not to press this big red button. And like there's like the brain just drives you towards it. Call of the void. And you know you can't.
Alright, Howie, do you want to deal with the inevitable shitstorm that would occur afterwards if you push that button?
No. I mean like no.
There you go.
But it's
fine.
rough.
9 laps to go, and we're done.
True.
I can't imagine this a particularly enjoyable situation for Talon Smith, though, even though he's led every single lap, has a 16.5 second lead.
What if I give Solo a stop and hold for like 5 seconds and then clear it?
That would be incredibly toxic.
Yeah, it's too toxic. Too toxic. Let's focus on brilliance. Talon Smith is coming around and Doyle Rudolph. We don't even know if he'll do that one in time. This man is simply too fast in a Gen 4. Too fast in any stock car.
That's the truth. You could see, like, Smith is still able to at the bottom. Some of these drivers have been struggling, just choose to go up the roof. And tell them starting to take that second, or like half a groove up in, that would be 1-2. As soon as I say he's able to at the bottom, it just moves up the track and proves me wrong. Gets just a little bit more comfortable on the tyres at this point. You're trying to get it a bit more pivot on the rears, I'm guessing, if he's trying to diamond the corner off like that. Gets it on the apex and just chooses to slide through the rest of the corner. As the lap counter slowly but inevitably ticks down. Now 5 to go. You can see on the onboards Oh, that would be the 26 of Doyle Rudolph being threatened to go a lap down. As Solo has caught the back of Bartosz Magrala.
Alan Smith. Don't think he can do it in 4. This man is going to run so fast, he's going to kill the show early.
Now, I will say, Smith has the potential to do the funniest thing.
There's some lore here. No, there's some lore here. Doyle Rudolph once was running a very good race in Gen 4 and got taken out when someone just sort of slipped to his inside on this track. Talon Smith has the ability to break the cannon event right now.
So, my funniest thing was, Talon Smith could park the car, bring out the caution, and then win the race anyway, which would be extremely funny. But in doing so, would put Doyle Rudolph in a situation where that cannon event could happen, and unfortunately, that hasn't come to pass. We're about to take the white flag and be free of this nightmarish hellhole.
Well, it's been a pretty straightforward race. I wouldn't call it too harsh for a nightmarish hellhole. There's been controversy on the track, and I'm sure there'll be a bit more off it. But the controversy hasn't followed this one driver, Talon Smith. The fastest oval driver in the West as Barney brings out the checkered for a 3rd win for free.
Oh, that's a lap car, never mind. Michael Hefferson just about sneaks to the inside of the 5, gets it through, and will finish in 3rd place. I was worried as he washed up the track there he was going to lose the rear, but will bring the car home for P3 ahead behind Daniel Solo, who took that lead earlier in that 2nd stint. With Rudolph.
Talon doesn't do burnouts. Is he going to do something funny? There is now an accessible victory road on this track, I believe.
I am waiting for the funny.
I think he knows we're waiting for the funny. He knows he can get the victory road.
Yeah.
Another win in the books. I don't know if Talon will be stopped. Let's wreck that engine. Daniel thinks Hafley got a 4X.
Wait, hold on a second. Where's... Michael Hafliderson is not easy for me to say, but is listed in iRacing as having 0 incident points.
Yeah, they seem to think this counts, but Daniel Solo tried to make it so all the drivers had crossed the line. Oh, that is not officially counted. Well, another day, another run of Dover. I love this place, and I love what it takes to drive, and let's just look away from what some of those freaks are doing on the track while we count the end results of the race.
Was that clip through the floor a little bit here?
I mean, who knows? I think it was. Talon Smith with another dominant victory, with Daniel Solo picking up the pieces in 2nd over Michael Afflison, and Doyle Rudolph finishes in 4th, with Anton Oman in 5th. Bartosz Magrala finishes 5th with Lars Chenoweth in 7th. After not really getting on too well with Hafley. Crisp wrecked the car, and Facing did not start the race.
Daniel Solo's upside down on pit road. Daniel Solo is no longer upside down. No, still upside down. Oh, there we go.
You really find the strangest things. Let's take that back.
Truly an Alkenwreck moment.
This is what we do.
We're just having a nice, normal, peaceful time on the Dover pit road.
I have a feeling like you're not meant to go that fast.
This is definitely a safety violation. I think NASCAR might have something to say about this. Unfortunately, we're not NASCAR, so I think we're cool.
Actions detrimental. Actions detrimental. I'd like to speak to a few drivers that we haven't spoken to already. Only really one or two. We'll go back, bring out with Michael and Daniel together.
Made.
Hello.
Hello!
There is some anger and frustration in the air. Not between you two. Indeed. Not between you two. But I have a feeling Lars is going to have some things to say to Hafley about being difficult to pass at the end of the sort.
Simply a skill issue.
That we are calling it?
Yep, perfect. No notes. I think we can move on.
Yeah, what?
I just want to clarify that the skill issue is Huffley being slow here.
That's also a skill issue, yes.
I don't fundamentally disagree with the idea that Havliston was slow, but he did hold it for a long time. Hard to pass around there. You did very much play a defensive game. I can confirm, by the way, Daniel, that 4x after the checkered flag did not count. And I'm incredibly dismayed.
There is a 4x in the session. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but
the instant counter in-game says 0x Michael Havliston.
Yeah.
There's a counter on my screen that says car 81, car contact 4x, so...
I cannot believe
there's actually a note on my
Hafley...
screen that says cope, seethe, mold, etc.
I am so mad. I was doing really good. I was gonna get 0x, and then Huffley decided to have a skill issue right in front of me, so I have to check up, and then I get put into issues because of that.
Issues is one way of putting it. So a good made up points with a quite a fortunate P2. How well do you and Hafley get on off the track? Is the only question I'll ask.
We have our days where it works. We have our days where it doesn't work. It's like it's a toxic relationship.
Yeah, you could call it that.
I'll leave that one to you two to decide. But well raced by both. Michael, if you make it to Iowa, you might want to bring armed security. Just saying.
I have 10 bucks to use for security.
Because if that 22 car didn't have it out for you after last week, he has it out for you now.
You touched my rears plenty of times.
I'm not even gonna call blame. I'm not even gonna call blame. I'm just gonna say that he has it out for you no matter what. So it's just like that's just how it is. That's just the truth. And I'll let you deal with the security in your own time. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
And we'll bring in Doyle. Good afternoon, Doyle Rudolph of the strategy corner. Not only many two unusual strategies today, because everybody sort of realised it was a one-stop. That race in front of you was kind of fireworks. I'll say that. There will be a few controversies and storylines. You kind of got away with it, and you got away with a better result than you started with.
Yeah, I saw them get together. They were a good 2 seconds up the road from me. I saw them get together into one of the corners. Bartosz, who was running with me, we were kind of saving at about the same pace, it seemed like. He got amongst them, and that ended up biting him a couple laps later when I think it was Danny got in the back of him. But for me, it was just, there wasn't really a reason to get up. I figured those guys were going to wreck, so I kind of took my time, and it worked out for me.
Well, this was the week you thought was going to be yours, and you did keep it clean on the track, but it turned out to be tough. And we're not even talking about pink cars that are running inhumanly fast. Not even talking about those. But you certainly did make it around the track in one piece and out of the wall. Was that a fairly relaxing driving experience in the park today?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I told myself that my goal for this race was to be amongst the Alkenwreck cars because they seem to be about on my pace, just in general. So finishing, within 2 seconds of Hafley, and I think it was 3 seconds of Danny, was about mission accomplished. I didn't really truly expect to win this one, and a top 5 was kind of where I was hoping to be. So I'm happy with the result.
Well, you certainly did play your game. You certainly did get your result. Thanks for the race. I really thought you'd almost catch Hafley by the end, and it just sort of dropped back just a little bit more. One of the days of all time on the track.
Certainly.
It was better than the Japanese Grand Prix.
It was.
And you can typecast Talon as the Max Verstappen. Makes sense.
I'm not sure even Max dominated as much as Talon's been dominating. He's been so good. And I really hope that this broadcast was just the Talon Smith glazing show, because he deserves it.
Well, we got there eventually, but there was too much fireworks on the track. I mean, it was absolutely explosive up there. But yes, that man is doing something truly, truly there. Thanks for the race. Move you down.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thanks for the broadcast.
I have to move you because you're stuck in VR. Ooh. What am I even saying? Well, another day does it, and we're here next week for just a little bit more short track action. As Hafley is bragging with money gifts right now.
Oh no.
I'll leave that to him. Leave that to him. We're doing one more short track. It's going to be Iowa. Actually, our shortest track so far. Now, that is a track quite unlike anything else in these cars. But any last reflections?
We have two of my favourite tracks back to back next 2 weeks. I am
why
very
did I
much
say
looking
Iowa
forward to
was
this.
Next? I don't know why I said Iowa was next. Auto Club.
Because Iowa is the one after Auto Club. And
yes.
I will take both of them in any order. I do not care. But we'll go to Auto Club first.
We do indeed have Auto Club. Yeah, cautions were definitely on. People are saying cautions are off. I'm sure they were on. Well, thank you very much for watching at home. Thank you very much to all the drivers. And thank you very much, Alice Davison, as ever, for joining me alongside what has been truly the thunderous of the Gen 4s.